Welcome on board for another DC to DC converter. This is a tiny buck boost converter design featuring the TPS63020, a handsome chip from Texas Instruments. I mean this chip in the center. The input voltage ranges from 2.5 to 5.5 volts and the output is fixed at 3.3 volts, capable of delivering up to 1.5 amps continuously. For example, you can connect a lithium battery of any type to the input and power your circuit. This board is perfect for powering devices like ESP32 or GSM modules, where the circuit may occasionally draw high inrush currents. A converter like this can handle those peaks easily without causing any voltage fluctuation. I really like it when a controller's pinout allows us to design a symmetrical PCB layout like this. Let me show you the back side of the PCB. A solid ground plane, which you know all the benefits. So now let's move on to the schematic and PCB section. I will explain the design in more details. Alright, this is Altium developed software that I used to design this schematic and this PCB layout. But you might ask, what's the benefit of this Altium develop? What's the catch? What's in it for me? Altium develop offers many features, but one stands out. It makes teamwork easy, especially on complex PCB projects. Imagine you are on a team where one person works on power supply, another designs digital circuits, someone else handles RF parts such as Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, LoRa, and another team member creates component libraries and prepares the bill of materials. If you rely on traditional methods such as email, shared folders, screenshots, and PDFs, things get messy. You end up with a bunch of schematic and PCB files, misunderstandings, and frustration. This will delay your project, stress the team members, and affect the company's revenue and reputation. The difference is obvious, so I won't explain more. Follow this link in the YouTube video description, sign up on the Altium website, and test it with your 1 month free legal license. With that sign up, you can also download the project files from this link. Anyway, let's come back to the schematic. The schematic looks simple thanks to the 63020 controller. Here is the input terminal. These are the bypass capacitors arranged from high to low value to reduce noise and conducted emission. They also help stabilize the controller for better load response. This is the controller itself, configured for power saving mode. The switching frequency is 2.4 MHz. Use a shielded inductor for L1. I used a TDK part number. R2 and R3 are feedback resistors. These are the output capacitors. The same as the input side, I arranged these capacitors in this shape to achieve lower noise and higher stability. And finally, this LED acts as a light dummy load and also indicates that the power supply is operating correctly. Let's move on to the PCB. So let me zoom in on the PCB. That should be fine. This is a 2-layer PCB and I followed several layout tricks here because this is a high frequency converter. Let me enable the single layer mode. There we go. As you can see, the high current PCB nets are connected using copper planes, not tracks. The bottom layer, this one, is a solid ground plane, providing a stable low impedance return path for the top layer circuit. I used many vias or vias to nail the top layer ground to the bottom layer ground, minimizing loop area, impedance, and length of the ground path. So if I disable this, for the same reason, I used a 0 ohm resistor here to maintain the integrity of the ground on the top layer and avoid routing a track on the bottom layer. The inductor is placed next to the controller or switching component. It helps to reduce radiated emissions. You should use a shielded inductor, of course, but it is also a good practice to fill the area beneath the inductor with ground, just like what I did here. So that's it. Let's move on to the testing section. Alright, welcome to the test bench. Here is the board on the test. This is the input voltage, and here is the output voltage and output current. Now I increase the input voltage and we will see if the output voltage remains stable within the range. So the output voltage 3.24. Let's go up to 5.5, 4, and here is 5, and this is 5.5. So the output voltage 3.24. This is a clear path for this power supply. So that's it. Just build this project and have fun. Don't forget to share and subscribe. We will do something else in the next video.